About 30 seconds behind, but at least you can see the actual score and how far we are in the quarter.
Now. Hang on to that. Just
You want a beer, Sam? Sure. We have supplies.
Good afternoon again, and also good evening. That's going to be the match that we completed here to the water schedule 7:30 Tanunda through Park. The senior Colts
You happy with the mics? Good. We're all good. Sounds good. Well, Teeks, welcome to Tanunda Oval for the clash between Gawler Central and the home side Tanunda.
Match of the day in the final minor round game of the 2021 season. Been a tough season for a lot of people on and off the field, but we've managed to push through and pretty exciting season.
Absolutely, and thoughts are with those that are in lockdown. I know I've got a heap of mates that are watching and listening to this interstate, and unfortunately are subject to those conditions. But we're thinking of everybody, and hope you enjoy the coverage today.
Yes, it's going to be excellent and perfect day for footy out here. Two teams that like to get the ball out in the open and run. This could be a really interesting shootout today.
Yeah, no love lost. Long history of some fairly spectacular games between these two clubs. And we're just having a look at both sides here. I know the Tanunda side has had some injury concerns, and they've had to make some changes. So, but I think for the second game this year, we got Ben Schiller, former captain, last year's finals hero, is making his long-awaited return after injury, having babies, running a farm, and doing a few other things.
Yes, Benny's been a very busy man this year. He's done just about everything you can think of, but some really great ins here for Gawler Central, a number of first gamers today. Very lucky to have the debut of Hudson Vivian, third generation BLG player. Probably one of the first BLG generation players to be a third generation player, following in the footsteps of his grandfather Peter Vivian, the Central District's legend. His father Kim, who was a premiership player at the Tigers.
Well, you're an Anguston bloke, you've forgotten a Hern. There's a couple of Herns that have played multiple generations.
Not in the BLG era.
Oh, I suppose since 89.
Which
is fair enough.
A completely different story. There were plenty during the 100-plus Barossa and Light years, but
indeed.
We're talking the modern era of BLG football.
That's almost like saying VFL/AFL, and there's some records that should be rectified after that.
Correct. Yes. And some clubs need to be recognised a little more than others, but we'll leave that where it is because we're here to talk about this game. This is going to be really interesting. Young players on display for both teams. Some guys coming in. Tanunda with a few outs.
Absolutely. And, the visitors are bringing in some pretty handy players when you got the likes of Mercer and Molyneux, Sandico, young Whelan, Willie Searle, Dan Stanley. That's a pretty handy mob running around.
Yes, they've got a number of match winners in their team, and their ball fluency from end to end when they are playing well is a beautiful thing to watch.
Absolutely. But then we look at the home side, and you can't go past there's the experience of Trembath and Cahoon Christian Howard, ex-AFL. Sam Cahoon, obviously ex-AFL. We're down to only 2 West-offs. The big fella on duty last night in Melbourne, helping Port Adelaide get across the line, which was fantastic.
Let's not go there. I'll completely forget about this game. But, yes, the West-off brand is firmly on show here again today, and these conditions, I'm expecting to see Lee Westhoff rack up a ton of touches.
Yeah, if he can get outside with that great step and his long left foot, then I think it'll be a delight, and it's a game breaker. And
for me, the game's really going to be won in the ruck. Gawler Central have got an advantage there with young Joe Botten, who's a very strong ruckman, up against the young fella Folky from Tanunda.
I believe young Folky's going to be out. He got an elbow to the throat last week, and he'll be spending a couple of weeks out.
Okay, so an even bigger advantage for the Tigers there.
Yeah.
And players to watch, Charlie Molyneux, one of the most dynamic players in the competition, has been best on ground for the Tigers in no less than 9 of the games that they've played this year.
Yeah, he'd be up there for a medal chance, I should imagine.
Chance for back-to-back.
Yep. So we're here at there is a fairly reasonable breeze that's been blowing. Comes out of the Maria Street Gully, which goes to the left of your screen. And we're hoping that they play close wing football, which is probably the advantage you'll have going into the northern goals. But perfect otherwise for a footy. Couple of soft spots on the oval, but that's because we've finally had a winter and it's been magnificent.
Yes, the oval's actually recovered very well from a couple of weeks ago when it was not in the best condition, but some sunshine in the meantime has done it brilliantly.
Yeah, I think 300 kids on a Friday night churning it up's always good for Saturday footy, isn't it?
And a few of the players are already complaining that the cricket pitch is a little bit too hard.
I was just speaking to Stuart Swan down there, the cricket club president, and he's quite happy with that.
There's the team, isn't it?
Pardon?
Guru is the
Guru, team. God, Chief. He's quite happy. You can see a tinge of green, and he reckons it'll move off a good length.
That won't help him at all.
No, his days are done, I think.
Okay, players heading to the bench now, and we're almost ready to go in the final match of the day for the BLG season.
Absolutely, and just quickly the outs for Tanunda, as well as Falkenberg, we've got Jack May, Lachlan Earl, and I believe that Riley McFarlane is out as well.
I believe that's correct. So a lot of experience and class going out of the Tanunda side there, and the replacements are...
Yeah, we've got young Mitchell Manick, Josh Hokeless, Benson Heinze comes back in, and I've Ben Schiller. And the first ruck is up. Out of the centre. A good tackle put in, straight in there. And letting them know what it tastes like. Tanunda do it. That's good.
Tanunda kicking to the right of screen.
But young Benson Heinze in the ruck.
Ball comes down to Gawler Central for a quick clearance through Daniel Stanley.
That's a great mark by Brett Dowse on the half-back line.
The ball goes out wide to the boundary and just trickles over, and we'll have a boundary throw in on the half-back flank for Tanunda.
Indeed. Apparently, through request, my Dream Teamers group on WhatsApp have been asking for plenty of Dennis Committee-like cork in the ocean type comments. I don't know if I'll be doing that.
I think you need to find your own brand.
Bit of tough work down there in the back lines there. Christian Howard holding his own. It's going to be a dour struggle, I think, until people find their feet and the pace of the game.
It is, and Tanunda have demonstrated this year they are playing very much that modern AFL style with an extra number at the stoppage just to try and bottle it up until they get it on their own terms. As Gawler Central on that half-forward flank, just running the ball over, unable to get the ball back into the forward 50.
Sam Cahoon's brought a bit of a dynamic there too, with a quick handball out the back, fast movement out to the flanks.
Yes, and Tanunda are going to be looking to get that ball out in the open today.
It's a shot on goal by the Gawler Central player there, and it's
just offline for a minor score. That's the first score of the day. So Gawler Central move to 1 point to Tanunda, no score on the Grant Birchwine scoreboard. Tanunda looking to bring the ball back in now.
Christian Howard with a nice run and a beautiful delivery to Josh Trembath, a long way down the ground. And we've got Isaac Feltus has cleared some space on the half-forward flank, streaming
his
in.
Body to just dismiss his Gawler Central opponent. Little ball on the outside of the boot there. Beautiful delivery into the forward line.
Really patient use there to Cahoon, and that's really tight work.
Colhoun will be taking a shot on goal, well within range. A reasonable angle, but this should prove no difficulty for the Tanunda coach. Coming in now.
Hasn't made the distance.
Sets it up.
Oh, there's a shot
Tanunda
on
player
goal by
got
Ben
2 hands
Schiller.
to the ball. Ball came down to Schiller, who was in the perfect spot,
Front and centre.
just for a minor score.
Snowden will be ruining that. He should have grabbed that. That's bread and butter stuff for Luke Snowden.
Gawler Central to bring the ball back in now. Jason Sandercock with the kick-in duties. Was impressive 2 weeks ago against Anguston. Had his moments coming out of defence.
There's a fairly reasonable leg on him too, from all reports. Here we go. That's good use
Gets
of the
onto
ball.
that one.
Big
Finds
contest.
Probably 60 metres with the kick. Right out to the wing.
Well rode there by Pilkington, but great chase work. No, there's
Pilkington receives a
been
free
called.
kick for in the back. Now looking to drive into the Tigers forward 50. Goes
Got
long.
under it a bit.
Big pack.
Good work by Darcy Heyman. A great defensive mark there.
Yes, that's beautiful reading of the play. Read it better than anyone else. Handball off.
Aaron
Quick
Fechner.
chip kick out. Finds
That'll be Joel Griffiths there.
Joel Griffiths, a very impressive defender and is a key
Young
part
Doherty
of this team.
out there on the wing by himself. If he can use it and get it over to Lee Westhoff.
Handball to Westhoff. Westhoff on that
Left
beautiful
foot.
left leg. Goes in, hits Trembath.
Beautiful ball movement. That was outstanding down that outside flank.
Westhoff to Trembath is one of the best connections in the BLG.
Oh, without a doubt. And again, though, this is bread and butter stuff here to Josh. This is why he won the reserves goal kicking at Glenelg, I believe, a couple of years in a row. So many years
South
back.
Adelaide, I believe.
South or Glenelg?
He played at both clubs.
But anyway, very handy, and it's been great since coming up to
Coming in
Tanunda.
now.
Beautiful shot on goal. Oh, he's just off to the left.
Commentators curse. Tanunda fans will thank you.
Again, as we noted, though, Tanunda's kicking into a slight breeze there, coming out of a street that tends to funnel it. It's directly up the oval.
There's a lot of things funneled in Maria Street.
Let that one go through to the keeper.
Short chip kick out of defence finds Molyneux. He turns and burns quickly to the outer wing. Just over kicks his player there and the ball runs out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in on the outer wing.
I think Pilkington seems to be getting a bit of space out there on that outside wing. And,
Pilkington's a key link player for the Tigers and his work rate is second to none.
Yeah. Good throw in by the boundary umpire there. And it's found its way back to the boundary.
We'll have another boundary throw in and we've played just over 5 minutes in the first quarter. Very tight game so far. 2 points plays, 1 point on the Grant Birchwine scoreboard. Good, tight, physical footy.
Absolutely, and we're still trying to find the football that has embedded itself under a ute. The joys of country footy, I suppose, isn't it?
That is one of the things. Country footy is a unique thing. It's something to be cherished, and it really is a key part of the fibre of our community.
Absolutely, and just feeling for all those people that have, unfortunately, in country Victoria and New South Wales that have had to...
and the ACT.
If
you are in lockdown and you're watching us, our hearts go out to you. Stay strong. You'll get through this. As Gawler Central driving forward now.
Oh, that'd be called in the back there, I think. That was a very, very unnecessary
should be a mark.
I believe it's been called a free kick. Or a
mark
either
or
way.
A free kick.
But that's Christian Howard's been unfairly dealt with, I think you'll call it.
Yes, definitely a late hit from Searle, who's unusually playing in defence. He's still being seen to by the trainer at the moment. Getting up now.
It's a fairly late hit, that. It's a bit unnecessary, I think.
And the Tanunda trainer, Daniel Crane, just walking with him now. I think he might be coming from the field and letting another player take the kick.
So he kicked it off to Dowse, has got the ball, using it on the half-back line. Out to Isaac Felders, which seems to be a pretty common avenue at the moment. The ball's bounced nicely. There we go, Biaggi. Lee
hands.
Westhoff having a dance.
Dancing by himself.
To the right. Didn't want the ball there, the Gawler Central player, and it's a great pick up there by Doherty.
Quick handball for Tanunda, just doesn't quite come off and
Not
trickles
quite.
over the boundary, deep in the forward pocket for the Magpies.
I think, Teeks, that we could quite comfortably say that Tanunda's ball movement's been superior. They've
Yes, it
actually
has.
really got into the game a
Just
lot quicker.
Not clean at the right time. But how good was it watching Lee Westhoff's moves out there? Mimicking the Generation X song, Dancing by Myself.
You do a lot of things by yourself, Teeks, but we'll leave that to the spectators to
And
think about. And there's a fantastic shot on goal. It's gone across
right across, out of bounds.
for a throw in. That's a pretty good result, I think.
But that's a dangerous spot right there. Tanunda will be looking to find a avenue to goal from this stoppage. Ball will be right in front of the goal square when it comes in.
There's some dangerous players getting around the ball here. Young Heinz's got to really work hard in the ruck. Interesting, young Jackson Doherty earlier in the year played in the District Shield over at... Oh, there we go. There's a goal. There's a goal out of the pack. That's young Doherty has kicked that.
Young Doherty, he's not a noted goal kicker with less than 5 for the season to his name at this stage.
A tough little nut. He ended up playing in the... he was over on the West Coast studying or working, one or the other, and ended up playing in the... It's not the Claxton Shield. What's the shield they play? The Mortlock?
The Mortlock Shield.
Yeah, ended up playing in the winning side in the Mortlock, actually, over there. So released for the week carnival.
Okay, so the first major for the game going the way of Tanunda, so that takes him to 1 goal, 2, leading Gawler Central 1 point on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard. We are nearly 9 minutes into the first quarter. As we see Gawler Central with the clearance again, but chopped off across half-back. Ball in dispute. Oh, big heavy blow
Big
there.
heavy hit there. That's Sam Brooks there using his great body size and speed.
And an absolute ball of muscle, Brooksy. Boundary throw in now. See Gawler Central ruckman with a tap over the back of the stoppage.
It's young Manning, I believe, there.
Gawler Central player picks it up and is slammed to the ground.
That's good tight work.
So we'll have a ball up near centre half forward for Gawler Central. And neither ruckman able to get a convincing direction on that footy.
Cahoon locks him up.
We'll have another ball up in virtually the same spot. Gawler Central pressing hard.
Joe Botton's not getting his own way in those rucks. It's a very nulled effect, I think.
Yes.
Having
as we'll have another ball up in almost the same spot. That's 3 in a row.
That's it, young Heinze. They call him Foodland. He's a shelf stacker there.
And at the back of the contest, Gawler Central able to get a handball over. Kyle Worst with a big flying shot. Falls short of goal. Chopped off by Tanunda.
Yeah, Matthew Westhoff there, the skipper. That's the Smith, nephew of a gun. Son of a gun, actually, too. That's a nice leg. Out to Lee Westhoff. Lee Westhoff bringing it in.
Chips it inboard. Smith now turns and runs.
Using the ball long, but it's a bit of a misguided kick, that. That was to nothing.
Gawler Central by hand, looking to work it out.
Snowden, very good tackle. Still
Ball in dispute. Kick off the ground by Tanunda. Favours the Gawler Central player back there. Calhoun with a great tackle.
And it's neutralised out there on the half-forward flank for Tanunda.
So
some good forward defensive work there by the smaller forwards.
Tanunda ruckman gets the tap forward. Unable to be controlled by Worst, who just takes the ball over the boundary.
Kyle's been going around for a while now. Must have racked
Kyle's-
up several. Must be in the hundreds of games now, isn't he? For the A grade.
He's over 100 games and has been a great servant for the Gawler Central Footy Club.
Ball bounces through. The handball out the back from Tanunda.
Big high up and under into the forward line.
Well, some good commitment
Lee
there from the
Westhoff
backman.
nearly pounced on that bouncing ball.
And they've broken out here, Gawler Central. There's a bit of a... Mercer's got his
Mercer
own,
was
but
trapped under that footy, under a lot of pressure. But he's laid a big tackle
it's been
and
called
played
in
in the back, which I thought was a real option there. He fell into him.
Smith's gone over to Darcy Heyman, but this is not going to
They've
work.
messed it up. Gawler Central now with a bit of space.
That's probably not the best
Kick
entry
into the forward line. 2 Magpies onto 1 Tiger. Tanunda now with another player coming in. By hands, they're
no.
cool under pressure. And looking to find the boundary line, and they have. Almost deliberately walked over the side. No, he's kept it in. Chipping
Some
out
heavy-
now.
Heavy work down there. There was a bit of mucking around that didn't need to happen.
Isaac Feltus working way back into defence now. Handball over, coming out. Looking for Benny Schiller. Just overshoots him.
Feltus again with a
Tanunda.
long ball. And it's a bouncing ball inside forward 50. Manning head down. Well done. Josh Trembath with a shot on goal. This should go. It has gone through with a fantastic
Nice off break there.
little
from
off break
Trembath.
there.
A little bit fortunate. Tanunda scored the second goal of the game.
And the locals are happy. This is what we like.
Yes, Tanunda definitely starting to build momentum. Repeated entries into the forward 50, putting the Gawler Central defence under a bit too much pressure.
There seems to be quite a deliberate move from that half-back flank to the inside run straight down the middle. And when those options are on, Tanunda has actually got it moving a lot faster and a lot cleaner.
Yes, Tanunda have identified that they have an advantage in the forward line with guys like Trembath, that if they use that well in these conditions, it's going to be easy money.
And young Heinz is neutralising Botten, the much bigger ruckman, and he's doing a good job. Darcy Heyman again, floating across. He's fumbled that ball.
Chip kick
Docking
forward.
his ball up to the wing. Botten's been tackled and thrown, some would say.
Lee Westhoff with a quick left foot kick forward. Bouncing ball. Gawler Central able to collect it, one-handed. Just drives the ball forward. And a fantastic punch
Great work
from
by
defence
Jordan
there.
Sill. Good defensive work there by Tanunda. Ben Schiller's commitment to the contest there. Joel Griffiths trying to get it through. The Gawler Central defence under heaps of pressure
Just
here.
batting the ball around. Well picked up there. Brad Mitchell was fantastic work to work around and collect the ball. Gawler Central now under a lot of pressure. Handball's going astray.
It's fierce in there.
Oh,
I think there's no
massive
love lost
tackles.
between these two. There's some big body work going on.
And the physical nature of this footy is just beautiful to watch.
It's been nice and clean. Nothing untoward.
Clear tap there for Gawler Central. Goes backwards to Stanley. The player that he got the ball to just slammed into the ground. Tanunda with a quick forward entry. Just out of
Griffiths.
reach of Trembath.
Well held, well collected by the Gawler Central's backman there.
Central able to gather the ball now.
Dylan Pilkington's delivery
Clean ball
out
out to the wing. Just short kick finds Danny Stanley. His handball forward of the contest finds Molyneux. And ball clean smother there.
Sam Brooks again. That strength off halfback.
Picks up his own ball. Handball misses the target. Gawler Central able to collect. Now Molyneux running forward. Launches that goal. And just offline by the great midfielder.
Some would say there's some missed opportunities here that Gawler Central's with the aid of the breeze, and once they get out, they're actually just seem to be bombing it along without any real structure.
Yes, they're not. They don't have big marking forwards. Both Mercer and Searle are leading targets, and that's an area that the Tanunda backmen handle very well. So bombing forward is not really aiding anyone.
No, especially with those two tall backs. If you've got Matthew Westhoff and Darcy Homan back there, they're both in excess of 190 odd centimetres. So,
and the likes of Christian Howard floating back there from time to time. As Tanunda now working the ball out of defence, using that outside wing again, which is their preference. Feltus out there with a handball back in.
Feltus looks like he's brought his own football today.
And Benny Schiller chasing in the forward line now. Unable to beat the Tigers defender, and the ball goes out of bounds deep in Tanunda's forward pocket.
Again, we're looking at that fast movement, really clean, really fast, and all of a sudden it's 25 metres out from the Tanunda goal.
Ball coming in now. Big flat throw in.
Yep.
Tanunda Gawler Central hack out of the contest. Goes as far as the wing. Tanunda coming back.
Benson Heinze, good work. And
Beautiful
that's a clean delivery from Brett Dowse. Straight to the breadbasket of young Feltus, who will go back and have a shot from about 42 metres.
Should be within range. He's had a lot of the footy. This would be a nice reward for his work in the first quarter.
Ben Schiller coming off the bench. And we've got young James Rare coming on. It's a bit of a flat mongrel punt, and he's missed to the left again.
He's managed to kick a Stephen Kernahan helicopter, and if you were trying to mark that, it would have broken at least 9 of the 10 fingers.
Again, another long kick in, and a very well-directed one.
Strong mark taken across half-back. Now's the problem for Gawler Central. Where do they go from here?
Oh, he's shanked it, but it's been
but it's come
fortunate.
off beautifully to Charlie Molyneux in the middle of the ground. Bombs the ball forward. Gawler
Contest
Central
at
with an
half
outnumber.
forward.
Kyle Worst picks it up beautifully, wheels around. Short kick, finds target. That's beautiful football from Worst. Finds Danny Stanley, the reliable, smooth-moving midfielder, playing up forward for the moment. But Worst, that pickup was absolutely sensational.
Absolutely. There was a 50-50 contest there. He made it his. And then the short stab pass onto the leading Stanley.
And we've got 2 of the finest umpires in the BLG panel officiating today's game with Ryan Prentice and Hudson Nowak, 2 of the young stars.
Absolutely, and that's a goal there.
Danny Stanley goes back, puts through Gawler Central's first goal of the day. So the score reads Tanunda 2 goal 3-15 to Gawler Central 1 goal 3-9 on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard. And we are almost 19 minutes into the first quarter. Gawler Central, another goal now would be ideal.
I think it's been a fairly entertaining first quarter, to be honest.
It's been a great quarter. Even beautiful attack on the footy for both teams. Dry weather footy. They're both playing high skill level.
There's a handball straight over to Lee Westhoff, who has driven it long into Trembath.
Trembath, who's well defended there.
Ben Biaggi picks up the ball and gives a handball off
Trembath kicks back
to Lee Westhoff, who's well within range.
Beautiful work from Trembath, very unselfish.
He's got a short pass on to young Feltus again.
Feltus, as you said, he brought his own football, and if I was him, I'd be a little offended that Gawler Central aren't paying him any attention.
It does seem a bit of a disrespect. He's been in fantastic form this year, and he's really grown into his role as that fast wingman, moving the ball. And as he kicked it through, he's made up for his last miss.
Beautiful goal from Feltus. That gives Tanunda a little bit more breathing space. That'll take them to 4 goal 3-27.
3-3.
Sorry, 3-3-21 to Gawler Central 1 goal 3-9 on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard. But Feltus, he's not just a running wingman, he's a strong physical presence, and I think that's been the highlight of his game for me this year.
I think it's really improved. It's been fantastic, and spending a fair bit of time working with Dad lifting bricks seems to be doing the job.
Not only that, but his willingness to apply physical pressure in the contest really sets him apart from other players his age.
Absolutely.
Molyneux
just danced through the centre there.
Nice cut off there for the Pies.
Again, young Brooks having a great
Going out
quarter.
to the outside. Finds Feltus, who's got another touch. Has got to be in double figures already.
Absolutely, and Doherty's free and he's running.
Doherty's got a mile.
Oh, and he's kicked it into the backman there. He's done a great job of smothering that.
That's just an evidence of never giving up on the contest. He was completely out of position. As we'll see a throw in on the half-forward flank for Tanunda. The Pies setting up behind the ball here. And that works out perfectly with a hack kick forward.
That's it. BLG didn't quite hold the mark, and
Tried
it's
to
gone
kick
over.
the ball in. BLG, another player who's really matured this season.
Absolutely.
Gone from a impact player to a serious A-grade footballer.
You know, he's rolling through the middle too. They've got him rolling through the midfield, and he's using his pace well.
As we see a big defensive punch there. Ball in dispute. Gawler Central player wrapped up in a heavy tackle, so we'll have a ball up again in the half-forward line. As Botten with a clear tap, but knocked forward by Tanunda. Behind the ball, Gawler Central able to clean up with a hack kick around the corner. Drifts just inside the boundary, but punched over. So we'll have a boundary throw in on the outer wing.
It's probably a fortunate position Gawler Central find themselves in with that kick, because it allows them to reset and start working towards a forward entry. But you can't imagine that's a good long-term proposition for the game.
No, it's not, but that wing out there on Tanunda Oval gives you a chance to reset, gives you plenty of room to work from.
It's nice and deep. It's a good ruck tap. They've overrun the ball here, Gawler Central, and it's going to take some clean hands.
Lee Westhoff there with a beautiful handball.
Out to Griffiths. Griffiths long leg.
Griffiths overshoots
Again,
his target.
Aiming at Feltus.
Yes. Didn't realise that Feltus isn't 12 feet tall.
No. He was 12 feet in front of his opponent, which seems to be, again, as we mentioned before, a bit of lack of respect being paid to him.
And ball in. Botten with the tap again, but no one at the ground level winning it for him. And Tanunda player
Feltus again
just slips over.
lost his footing. He was going too
The
fast.
only player who can stop Feltus is himself.
Yeah, the boundary line tackled him, I think.
Possibly a trip. So we see another boundary thrown just outside Tanunda's forward 50-metre arc. Flat throw in, really advantages Botten.
Oh, there's a tackle without holding
hands,
without the ball there. But,
driving the ball forward.
And it's gone, I believe, out of bounds on the full as declared by
That
the
same
boundary umpire.
place that they are putting the ball to almost every time. Tanunda to bring the ball back now. Player retrieving the football from over near the Kegel club.
The only Kegel club in the Southern Hemisphere. Darcy Heyman kicks it in. And it's
Looking
been
for
cut
Feltus,
off there.
but
by
Gawler
Thomas
Central
Phelps.
working that out and finally spoiling.
It's a long ball going in, and Matthew Westhoff has read the ball better.
Just a little hand in the lower back, push the Gawler Central player under the contest. Westhoff plays on, runs around his opponent. Looking for Benny Schiller, he finds him.
And he's straight
Schiller
off.
with a handball.
Bluey
into the middle.
Smart through the middle with a
Good
beautiful
low ball. Josh Trembath marks the ball on his bootlaces. Beautiful stretch from the full forward.
I think if we got the benefit of
Action
almost a replay here, and might be interesting to see if he got his fingers under that ball.
Just about to see it come to fruition now.
Sam, the cameraman's shaking his head.
Oh, that beautiful dance by Westhoff at half-back. Actually, that's the second Westhoff dance we've seen for the day.
Trembath
Can we get Danny out at half-time?
kicking for goal. There's a beautiful kick from outside 50.
Delicious impact on the footy. Trembath brings up his first goal of the day.
Second.
Sorry, second
2
goal
goals
of the day.
today after the off break.
That takes him to 34 for the season, Josh Trembath.
It's not a bad return given the he probably missed 6 games
Yes.
with injury.
6 to 7 games with the hamstring injury earlier in the year, which really hit Tanunda's run at a top 2 position. He is one of the key planks in the Tanunda game plan.
Yeah, it's solid plank. We like that. So we've got Lee Westhoff in the middle. Ben Schiller's gone into the middle. and Jackson Doherty. So there's some dynamic players in there.
As Botten gets his hand to the footy, comes down to Danny Sandley with a quick handball to Chuck Molyneux, who handballs out wide.
Brett Dowse just marshals off of the
Looking
half
for,
back line
guess
to
who?
Feltus.
Isaac Feltus.
Just
And
chipping
he's got
over.
a player on his own in the goal square. Has he got the leg to reach him?
Tanunda
Bit too
kicking
late
in.
now.
There's a swarm of yellow jumpers around this ball. Who wants it? Obviously they don't. The black and white.
Benny
Over the
Schiller
top.
was the man who got it, but quick kick to the goal square, cut off by the Tigers.
Luke Snowden just a bit short on that. Couldn't quite get the full purchase.
Gawler Central looking to bring the ball out now.
It's come to a contest here.
Long kick. Ball's come out over the boundary. I think this will be the first boundary throw in on this side of the ground.
That's correct.
We have played almost 27 minutes in the first quarter.
Nick Hooker was expected to do a lot there for Gawler Central with 3 Tanunda players around him. Tanunda has won the ruck tap, and Christian Howard has roved it beautifully, and I believe has
left foot
slotted a
kick
fantastic
and
goal.
has just squeezed that inside the right-hand post for a beautiful goal from the backman.
That was young Benson Heinze winning the ruck tap there against a much bigger opponent, and he's having a real effect.
He is having a really strong impact on this game, and I think he could be a find for the Magpies going forward.
Yeah, he's played this role a couple of times when we've been down ruck stocks, and it does take his toll, to be honest. You know, he's undersized. He's only a young bloke. He's 20 years old, and but he just gives his all, heart and soul.
Ball comes down.
Botten didn't even contest that ruck.
And Benny Schiller gets a kick. It's smothered straight away. Pilkington with a kick over his head. Lands in a teammate's arms.
Molyneux playing outside.
Molyneux now getting the ball. Drives it towards the goal square. Got a one-on-one for the Tigers. But
Again, it's been nullified by Matthew Westhoff.
Westhoff smart enough to just hold key position and just push the ball through for a minor score. As Tanunda, almost 29 minutes into the first quarter with a handy lead.
So I wonder, Teeks, why would the bigger ruckman absolutely not contest that centre bounce?
I'm not sure. He did set up on the backside of the contest. Maybe they were just preparing to lose the contest and make sure that the clearance didn't go against them.
That's a bit of a defeatist move, I think. Luke Snowden overran the ball there for Tanunda. And young Howard's, again, turned around 73 times and given the handball off. Snowden's long kick into Trembath. There's a Pagan's paddock going on there.
Running back towards goal was the only player who had a chance at that footy. He timed his run perfectly, but the kick was weighted beautifully. Trembath's the kick from the same spot that he kicked his second goal.
Directly in front. He'll be considering there's a bit of a breeze blowing up. But this is bread and butter stuff for Josh Trembath. Beautiful kicking action.
Goal umpire doesn't have to do a lot of work here. Another goal for the Magpies.
Tanunda really stretching their legs on this one at the moment. It's a 6-1 first quarter into the breeze.
Warning signs for the Tigers now. Tanunda just starting to take the game on their merits.
Talking to a few of the knowledgeable chaps before the game, there's something like 7 Tanunda first start players not playing today.
Yes, a lot of outs for the Pies, but that's been the way most of the year, and they've found a way to win. Still a lot of depth in this Tanunda outfit. Unheralded names that come in week after week and do the job. See the ball up now.
Dowse in the centre. They call him Diesel. Good handball use in the centre. Young Bluey smart. Missed the ball. Bit of a hack kick out there. Out to the wing. Jackson Doherty overruns the ball.
Able to get back on it. Handball backwards. Just overshoots teammate who kicks the ball forward now.
Long leg out to the flanks.
Bouncing ball. Gawler Central player collects it but is tackled immediately
By
Isaac the man Feltus, and we will have a stoppage just outside Tanunda's forward 50 as they're pressing once again.
a good ruck tap, but well read by the Gawler Central player and given holding the ball.
That's
Great
quite
tackle
hot.
by the ruckman.
Quite hot.
Benson
And
Heinze driving it in forward.
big
Heavy
pack
work going on
forms.
there in the ruck. That was a neat throw out the back.
Handball
and
out
it's
from
a
Gawler
quick
Central.
ball.
Ends up in the Tanunda player's arms, and his shot just
Jake-
offline.
Jake Snowden again, missing the
Another
missing the shot
easy
on
goal. Gone begging for Snowden.
Pretty handy. Would have been a neat throw out the back there, I think, by Gawler Central.
Bring the ball in now. Long kick
It's a
going
long
down the middle. Looking for
there's a
Mercer.
Big pack. Big pack.
Well read there by the Gawler Central player off the pack.
There's
As
the
the
siren
first quarter
goes.
comes to a close, currently the score is Tanunda 6 goals, 3-40. 6-4-40, and Gawler Central 1 goal, 3-9 on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard here at Tanunda.
We've got Josh Trembath with 3 goals, Christian Howard with a fantastic goal, Jackson Doherty with a goal, and Isaac Feltus, who I think we all agree brought his own football.
Currently looking at 3 votes.
And for Gawler Central, Daniel Stanley with 1.
And Gawler Central doing a lot of hard work, not getting a lot of reward for their work.
No, indeed. And
Probably not playing smart footy.
Well, I don't think so. And as I'm looking down here, we've got Big Joe Botten sitting on the boundary line, not joining the rest of his team, and he's pulling a boot off. It's would have thought the much larger ruckmen should have been giving them first use out of the centre with their centre stocks of Molyneux and Stanley, and it doesn't seem to be having any effect.
It's not, because that next line where that kick is going to being absolutely dominated by Tanunda's half-back line of Howard, Westhoff, Brooks.
And their use. They're cut off and then spread and run is fantastic.
They take the game on, and with a player like Feltus dominating out on that wing, the confidence is there for Tanunda to take the game on fast, because they know that the next guy down the line is winning his position by that far, that they can just put the ball in his area and he's got the confidence to go for it.
Goes to show a level of absolute trust.
Yes. If you've got a player who's playing that well and is just on fire, keep getting the ball to him. There's an old saying that the ball finds energy, and it's currently finding Isaac Feltus.
He's been outstanding. I think the difference, but there's been some missed opportunities too. If we have a look at the scoreboard, Tanunda could be a lot further ahead.
They could. There's a lot of hard tackling by both teams. Tanunda's has probably been slightly superior at this stage, hence Gawler Central not able to get any clean ball going forward. It's all hurried kicks, kicking to space and hoping, but Tanunda's physical pressure keeps shutting them down when they get it there.
Yeah, we've had a lot of hack kicks, haven't we? So I know it'd be interesting to see how they line up with the second quarter, and Gawler Central are really going to have to step up, actually tighten up their forward play, and start hitting those 2 leading targets of Searle and.
Not only do those two have to start presenting on good leads, but then they have to force their teammates in the middle to honour those leads.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Because at the moment the high ball in is playing into the hands of Westhoff and co.
Indeed. Well, we'll just take a quick break here at the Tanunda Oval. It's
We'll join you again for the second quarter shortly.
Cheers. Welcome back, viewers, to Tanunda Oval, and we're about to see the start of the second quarter. Ball goes up. There's been a change in the ruck there. Gawler Central get the clearance, but it's been repelled again off the half-back flank by Brett Dowse. Young Bluey Smart can't track the ball at the moment. He's managed to pick it up. Got an inside 50. There's a wrestle on down in just outside of the goal square. Tanunda boys have just overrun the ball. There's a fair bit of brouhaha, and the ball's gone out of bounds.
And we've got a score update from Newry Oval in the clash between the Tigers and the Bombers. Currently at quarter time, Newry 5-4, 34, leading Kapunda 2-1, 13. The breeze was favouring Kapunda in that first quarter. Boundary throw in right at the top of the goal square for Tanunda. Gawler Central with a big clearing kick out into the middle now.
And Wurst has grabbed the ball.
He's
beautifully picked it up
on the bounce, which is his real forte.
Bit of an ugly kick there, and Matthew Westhoff's cut it off.
Easy for Westhoff, that one. Kicks across to the outer wing, looking for a teammate. Ball just bounces in the turf before it gets to him.
Searle picks it up and handballs to the feet of his teammate there. There's another handball and
tackle there that falls into the back of the Tanunda player.
That's Brad Mercer laying a tackle. Would he have done many of those?
He's done quite a few of those. His pressure work as a forward has always been impressive.
Quick kick out by Tanunda, but cut off there by the Gawler Central player.
But we did learn recently that passing in the forward 50 is not exactly Mercer's forte. His belief is that once a handball is worth 6 points, he will start doing it.
Absolutely. Well, there's been a blood rule here, and young Dylan Pilkington's come off.
But Joe Bottom coming back on, and he's in the perfect spot now. He receives this ball out on the wing, looking to drive it forward. His kick goes in.
And it's been cut off by Darcy Heyman. Again, that half-back, full-back line of Tanunda's been outstanding.
And that was a nothing entry once again for the Tigers. Tanunda able just to move the ball out of defence, which has been too easy all day. They're working harder back into defence than Gawler Central's forwards can allow.
Thomas Phelps has done a great job there.
Great smother there. Great pressure work. Made a liar out of me, which a lot of people love to do.
So he's been moved forward this quarter by the looks of things. Was playing deep back.
Boundary throw in.
We haven't got the new ruckman there, 57. I haven't seen his number. And Gawler Central have slotted a goal.
So Gawler Central with their second goal of the game. So they're now 2-3-15 on the Grant Bergewine scoreboard, trailing Tanunda 6-4-40. Gawler Central need a couple more of those to get back into the contest.
Just give that goal to number 57, whom we don't have a number for. And there's heavy tackle work in the centre with some work going on. Young Cahoon's been dealt with by Botten, and this won't be seen to be very pleasant.
Sammy slowly rising to his feet.
And it looks like there's been a free kick given because of that. Bit of argy-bargy, somebody trying to create some influence.
Nice kick forward there, finding that, guess who, Isaac Feltus, who quickly moves the ball on.
Oh, it's a bad kick there. That's not a good delivery to the full forward.
Yeah, drops short. Ball coming straight back out.
We want to make up for that, I think.
Feltus now on the mark, defending.
So, again, we've got a movement into the forward line here by Gawler Central. Aaron Fechner has kept his feet beautifully against Searle, even though there was some physicality. and it's rushed through
There
from
was
behind.
definitely two different weight classes going at it there.
Matthew Westhoff with a beautiful pass out to Darcy Heyman, to the coach, Sam Cahoon, who's now looking for an option to go forward.
Driving deep now. Lands on the chest of Isaac Feltus, who's just outside of range and will probably be looking for someone on the lead.
He's chipped it to nobody in between. That's probably one of the poorer entries, I think, from Tanunda today.
Yes, probably deserved a lot more than that, Feltus. Getting a ton of the ball, but he's got to make them count.
Bit of a lacklustre start to the quarter. Ruck contest just outside of 25 metres
Tanunda
out.
are able to claim that, but the Tanunda player is wrapped up immediately, so we'll have a ball up probably 30 metres out from the Tanunda goal square directly in front.
Botten and Heinze over the back with a handball. Beautiful handball by Feltus to Doherty, and unfortunately to the left of the stick.
Just offline.
So again, we see that Tanunda have missed opportunities going into open goal that could have put this game well beyond doubt by now.
Yes, keeping Gawler Central in the contest through no work of their own for the Tigers. Long ball coming out
kick
now.
out.
Big strong mark taken
Alex
there.
Robertson moves on. There's a handball out, and a good marking attempt here by number 57. Unfortunately, didn't get it. There's a
Molyneux
missed
shrugs
tackle
the tackle. Little chip kick inside.
to young Stanley with his little thing on top of his head.
And Stanley with his left foot probably just outside of range. We're not going to comment on guys who have that haircut.
No, of course not.
Getting the evil look from our cameraman, Sam.
He's got a beautiful little man, but he's taken it out now.
See, you've made him
Stanley
self-conscious.
Stanley in for a long shot at goal. The big men fly, and Searle has stood at the back
Willie
of the back.
Searle, not overly tall, but has just stood his ground, read that ball beautifully. Taking a mark,
a shallow
probably
pocket
almost
there.
on the boundary line.
Very
Will
shallow
be
pocket
kicking
there.
from behind the point post.
He's declared it before it's been called, and it's a goal.
Yes, beautiful, classy goal from a player of Searle's skill that was always going to be. And while we're talking about our cameraman, if you want to follow a really good YouTube channel with sports action, 180 Creations, definitely the place to go.
Absolutely high quality work there.
180.
So back to a 20-point margin here, and one would have thought that Tanunda could have skipped out by at least another 3 or 4 goals had they taken their opportunities better.
Yes, but this 7 minutes of the second quarter, Tanunda haven't capitalised on their opportunities, and Gawler Central really making a run.
Again, Botten up before acceptances, and
Ball going forward, good strong mark taken.
I think it's who's that?
Phelps.
Young Phelps. Him. Oh, the sun might have got in the eyes there, I believe.
Tanunda clearing now on that outer wing.
Isaac Phelps is chasing it down. Bit of contact in the back lines there too. Some blokes holding their heads.
Ball out on the outer wing for yet another throw-in.
Good strong throw in there, and well done again. Heinze reaches over the.
Gawler Central going into their forward line now. Going deep.
Flat ball.
Just a bit too flat. Bounce in front of his forward.
Young Brooks has wrapped him up.
So we see a Colquhoun about to relieve pressure by kicking out from directly in front of the Gawler Central goal square.
Being called to play on now.
Goes wide and long out the outer side. Ball punched over, so we'll have...
Bit of a funny sort of hat kick again behind. But looks like couldn't quite see who took that mark.
Heading towards, and Gawler Central player, front on contact from his own teammate Jake Asher there, put him off.
It's all a bit scrappy at the moment. No clear ball movement, but looks like Gawler Central
And
come out with
Kyle
ball
Worth
intent.
picks it up in the forward line on the left foot, and he's missed the easiest of goals.
Gawler Central have come out this quarter with a fair bit more intent.
They look like the team more determined and are definitely running a lot better than the Magpies.
So I think the move. The move of Thomas Phelps up forward's been very handy for him. Matthew Westhoff to bring the ball back in. Good long, strong kick out to the flank.
Huge kick, but cut off by the Tigers.
Brad Mitchell's
running
done a great
it
job
straight
there.
back in, kicks it, and
kick it down the back of the
over the
neck
head of his teammate. Willie
Tanunda
Sell
player.
not real happy with that.
Westhoff to Westhoff.
Just waxing now, the boys.
Tanunda need to use the ball a bit better. To Cahoon at the half-back line. He's being held, impeded from moving on. Christian Howard just takes the ball inside the centre square.
Wheeling out on his left, coming towards this side of the ground.
And young Smith's been impeded again.
He
Out
brings the
to
ball
Darcy
wider
Harmon.
further. Harmon misses it.
Harmon's work, excellent. Oh, and he's gone over the fence.
Oh,
That's not necessary, that sort of activity. But everybody's all right, and they've all run away.
and we'll have a boundary throw in. Bottom takes front position. Pilkington trying to get his handball
Just a
out the
hand
back.
in there by Lee Westhoff was
And
exceptional.
Tanunda going in deep, but Gawler Central able to pick it up. Big high ball coming out of defence. Kyle Worst fighting hard, wrapped up by two Magpies. So I'll have a boundary, ball up just outside the forward 50 for the Magpies. Bottom with the hit backwards.
It's a touch play on situation. Oh, hello. They've called a holding the man here. Young Smith.
Towards going Gawler Central's way. Ball comes back now.
Again, this young Thomas Phelps.
Is on the Crows' top-up list for their reserve side. Finds
Mercer.
Mercer just outside 50. Looking for a target. That's a really low penetrating kick. Ball juggled over the boundary
over
line.
the boundary line, and therefore it's going to be a throw in.
Nick Hooker unable to control that ball. But a better entry from the Tigers.
Mercer coming in across the ruck there. He's showing some determination. Wants to
It was young
use
Hudson
his
Vivian had a chance there.
using his strength,
For
but he's
Hudson
been done.
Vivian's first touch in senior footy.
And went between his legs, I believe.
Got his hands to it, unable to collect it under pressure. Would have been great to see the young man pick that up and goal.
Good defensive pressure again by Tanunda. Long kick out by Douse.
And Bottom takes a strong mark at the back of the pack and will drive the ball back in. Only
Schiller.
player going for it was from Tanunda. He tips the ball over to Lee Westhoff, who kicks the
Who
ball
was
inside.
dealt with afterwards in an illegal fashion, one would say.
Tanunda clearing
Long
now.
kick to young Feltus,
Got
clear.
a Paddock. Turns onto his right foot. Drives it forward and hits Feltus directly out.
That was just exceptional work off the half-back line. And the moment they could move it clear into the centre of the oval, it just opened up for that direct kick straight into the
Beautiful,
full 80 for forward.
confident ball movement that we're seeing from the Magpies. When they get the ball in the open, they are a treasure to watch.
That's as clean as football will get.
And we are 13 and a half minutes into the second quarter here at Tanunda Oval in the BLG match of the day.
Trimbath going for his
shot.
fourth.
Trimbath makes no mistake. Kicks goal number 4 for the day.
Over the
Goal
umpire's hat.
number 36 for the season.
It's pretty good going.
Probably will have him in contention for the leading goal kicker the way things have been this season.
Yeah, there hasn't been any big standouts, has there? A lot of midfielders getting bags of
Correct.
goals, and
I'd say he and Jed Durden from Angerson are probably battling for the title this season.
indeed, Durden's brother succumbed to a knee, I believe.
Yes, against Tanunda the first time around this year. Held Justin Westhoff goalless, and in the last few minutes of the game went down with an ACL injury.
Terrible. Out of the centre, Brooks has got the ball. There is a holding the ball decision. The locals aren't happy with that.
Locals are never happy.
It's a long, driving, penetrating ball inside 50.
Bounces.
Doused
Picked up
just
by
clean.
Tanunda.
To Westhoff.
Matt Westhoff kicks the ball out
To his
with
brother.
precision. Finds Lee on the left foot. Just
Howard.
ball grubbers to Howard. Probably one of the
Douse
worst
again.
kicks you'll see from Lee Westhoff.
Feltus to Doherty. And again, he's being held up here.
Marks holds the ball up. Now handball out.
Bluey Smart. Now to Feltus. Now to Doherty. Knocking up stats, these boys. And a
On
ball
the
that's
left,
hard.
just dribbles over the back of the contest to Colquhoun. And a kick backwards by 20 metres from the Tanunda player. Didn't work out. Gawler Central with a kick over around the corner now. Feltus just unbeaten by the bounce of the ball.
All a bit ugly going in there. And see the intent from the full forward to find somebody behind him.
Yes,
But,
unselfish.
Delivery was
Might
pretty
work, but these are things that you're encouraged to try.
So Sam Colquhoun is coming to the bench.
Probably for a short rest and to reassess what's going on.
Shaking his head. He's not particularly pleased with something. And he's coming straight off the ground.
Heading off the ground towards the change room. So really bad sign for the Magpies there. Not just for today, but for the finals starting next week.
Indeed, he's been in good form. Heavy ruck contest there, and the ball is coming to the line. And again, we've got blokes going into the fence. Fair bit going on.
Very physical game at this point. Neither team willing to give an inch. As we see another ruck contest. So go up now. Heinze gets his hand to the foot. He just knocks it down, nullifies. Pilkington
Griffiths
just
overrun the
overran.
ball there. Young Manning. Handballs to grass. Unfortunately, looks like the young fella panicked a bit.
Gawler
Molyneux.
Central driving the ball forward, looking for Searle. Just bounces short of that player. Really probably not good enough from Molyneux on that occasion. Not often we get to say that.
No, Searle had young Fettner beaten there. He had a good 10 yards in front of him, and the delivery was really quite poor.
And if Gawler Central can get it right, that's a matchup that should always go in Searle's favour.
One would think so.
Probably got a good 40 kilos on Aaron Fettner. Hack kick around the corner, high to the goal square. Tap down, Tanunda,
Beautiful
read it
defensive
better.
work in the
Beautiful
square.
hands coming out of defence. Benny
exceptional.
Schiller handballs back.
Oh no, that's a
West off.
mistake that you would
Pilkington
rarely
will pick
see.
that up.
That's a mistake you'd rarely see from Douse.
Yes, but Pilkington grabbed at his left hamstring after he took that mark. Not sure how bad. He doesn't seem to be labouring now.
I think there was an earlier mark in this quarter where he grabbed the same leg, and he didn't quite make the distance for
It
the
was
shot.
just above the knee, so whether it was a knee jarring on impact, gets into this one quite nicely, just floats across the face for a minor score.
He does seem to be labouring with that leg, though.
Yes, he's a major link player for the Tigers. If he can't run out the game at full capacity, that will hurt them badly.
I think if you keep an eye on him, he's just stumbled a little bit
Just
there
watching
too.
the replay now, he's definitely not looking confident.
No. So the kick from full back from Westhoff has found Harmon. Harmon has found Smith. So this sure movement off of the half-back line is what's really kept
And
Gawler
Westhoff
Central
now
guessing.
going back inboard again, but long.
To the middle, and the ball didn't quite make it to young Manning. He's got to lay a tackle on the much bigger opponent.
Well done, young fella. Lays a great tackle, creates a loose ball.
And Biaggi's been done for dropping the ball. Biaggi for Tanunda there.
So strong work from Gawler Central with the tackles as well. Looking to come forward again now.
It's been played between the half-back lines at the moment.
Good mark for Gawler Central there.
Mercer has... Oh, no. We thought there was a...
Nick Hooker took a big grab there.
Kyle Worst
Played
has
on.
dropped the goal
Handball
through.
to Kyle Worst, who drills a goal. Beautiful play from the small fella with their hair helmet.
Tanunda defence are thinking there should have been a blocking on.
They can think
Darcy
all they
Hammond.
like. It hasn't been paid.
No, it hasn't been paid. But shows that experience of a guy like Mercer was able to actually force that to happen, which created the space, and it means the handball goes over to Worst. Worst is clear, slots a goal, and he's a very accurate kick.
Very smart, and he is an unselfish player. He does a lot of work that doesn't get seen.
It sounds like me, really.
But we choose not to see or acknowledge your work, Dan. So
We know where you do some of your finest.
when I'm sleeping.
Oh.
That's nearly 20 minutes into the second quarter.
Got the ball up, a beautiful ruck tap
Tanunda
there by
seven-
Darcy, by Benson Heinze.
Yes, Tanunda 7-5, leading Gawler Central 4-6 on the Grant Burge-Wine scoreboard.
Ball's hugging the boundary line. Worst has trapped it and taken it over the line. And the
Natives
are
are getting restless.
They are getting restless. There's going to be an adjudication here. I believe that it might have actually been declared it came off the ball. Oh, no. They're going to throw it in.
These two young field umpires do a really good job, and I'll back them every day of the week.
You do like the men in white.
I respect the hard work that they put in, and when they do it well, someone does need to acknowledge it.
Absolutely.
I think that too many people choose to use them as scapegoats for their own team or their own players.
For poor performance?
Underperformance.
Yes. Well, there's a bit going on here.
Charlie
afterwards.
Molyneux wrapped up. Oh, there's a real fight going on here.
Botton's dropped one in there, and it didn't need to be reacted to. It was a late tackle.
As we're just
and it's a
about to
free
watch this
kick
on
to
the
Doherty
replay.
for the high contact, I
Doherty
believe.
will get the free.
Botton might be getting frustrated by the effect of Heinze actually dominating him in the ruck.
Yes, I think that's definitely coming to the fore. Left foot kick goes deep into the forward line.
Trembath leading.
Trembath, both hands to it, brings the ball to ground.
Well done, young BLG, who's held him.
Carried three blokes on his back like a jockey.
Sort of the physics don't stack up there, do they?
No, but you can't measure heart.
No, he's got a big ticket.
Unlike his dad.
I'll let you deal with that. He's not quite close enough for you to get belted.
No, his dad's got a big mouth.
Is this being recorded?
Yes, it is. And I'll stand by my statements. As Charlie Molyneux picks the ball up beautifully there. Handball off. And
Gawler Central mucking around with it back there in the back lines.
Yeah, getting a bit too cute for their own good. Now, big kick out. Looking for a target, but a small man is outplayed by his opponent.
It's young Griffiths out there, and they take it over the line.
Yeah, not great clearance work there from the Tigers.
I think they'll call that clearance kick a nice comfort zone sort of move, that one.
If they keep making decisions like that, they will get smashed. As we've played nearly 23 minutes in the second quarter.
It's been an arm wrestle. Tanunda, you feel just ready to burst.
Yes.
Gawler Central, I think, have had their footy this quarter, and you just think at any moment now, Tanunda's just got to be able to make one or two of those link kicks actually work, and it's going to break open.
And the Tigers looking to clear the ball now.
Shallow kick in, and he's played on straight away.
The bounce. Has another. Can have another.
There's a third.
3 bounces. Looks to take a kick now. Goes inside the forward 50.
Fechner has intercepted
Beautiful
that.
intercept.
Straight to Douse in the middle. Christian Howard through to Josh Trembath.
And
Trembath wheels around.
Looking for a target. He's hit him perfectly. Beautifully weighted kick.
Again, it comes down to those kicks actually hitting the target and give it that confidence then to go and just move
That's
cleanly.
a huge mistake from the Gawler Central player. Took the game on, ran, had 3 bounces, then kicked the ball at 40 metres. So that's a 70-metre gain if it comes off.
Looking at their forward line, Searle wasn't moving, had gone to the wrong spot. Mercer wasn't moving, had gone to the wrong spot.
Yes. And it's probably more on those two senior forwards not forcing him to kick to a right
absolutely.
spot.
And we see Luke Snowden has
finally got one on target.
He's 1 goal 3 today, I believe.
So Tanunda with another goal, really starting to open this gap up. Nearly 3 goals in front now.
It's over 3 goals now. It's
looking towards 4.
Yeah,
but
four
almost
goals
25 minutes played in the second quarter.
The Burgewine scoreboard is correct. It's 53-30. As Gawler Central get a clearance and a quick movement. He wasn't able to hold the mark there, the young fella. And it's now been rebounded immediately out to that young man Feltus, who by the half-time break would have to be into the mid-20s. His beautiful delivery to Josh Trembath in the forward pocket.
And his score involvements have got to be huge.
Very few forward movements haven't had him involved.
Not so much this quarter, but that first quarter, every single play went through him.
Trembath coming in.
Gets high under it.
It looks like a beautiful kick from
Goal
that
umpire,
pocket.
very pleased with it.
Umpire's hat is being looked after, and that is a neat 5 by half-time.
Ooh, looking like being a real big bag. This could be the game that decides the leading goal kicker for the season, and Trembath looking like he wants it.
I think young Jed Durden kicked 9 a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? It was a close one.
Correct.
To get in the double figures, but that'll be the most by a single forward this year, I believe.
I believe it is. There's been a couple of bags of 9 against Freeling and such. No, sorry,
Justin Westhoff kicked one here
there was
against
10 goals from James Bentley.
Oh, there you go.
In a game that we called for the SA footballer earlier this year against Freeling.
We're going to have another ball up in the centre. There's some heavy work going in, but again, the work that Heinze's doing against a much bigger Botten is pretty incredible, although that's a very decisive hit out by Botten. And a heavy tackle there and a sling on Doherty by Molyneux. And both those chaps have been pretty hard at it together. Ball gets knocked out of the tackle. Molyneux's going back in again, and Doherty's in there. He's picked up the ball, and again, been tackled heavily by Stanley.
Some great defensive tackling going on from the Tigers at the moment, but they need to get their hands on the footy.
Commitment to the contest here. There's a high contact there, and advantage paid, and a beautiful kick to Trembath.
Trembath lining up for goal number 6 now.
Absolutely.
I think you can almost write this one down.
That moment there, that's a defining moment. You had to make a contest.
Yes.
Biaggi chose to go the ball and go hard. His
Took
opponent
the
chose not to.
contact and rolled out of it.
Gave the handball off to Howard. Howard's beautiful delivery directly to Trembath sees Trembath going for number 6.
Kicking goal number 6 on tipping. Goal umpire unmoved.
Physically and emotionally.
Just a work of art. I can't speak to his emotional state at the moment.
I think we spoke earlier about there just seemed to be a feel of Gawler Central had their opportunity.
Yes.
And possibly hadn't taken it. And Tanunda was on the cusp of breaking it open. That appears to have happened with 3 or 4 quick goals.
I think it's about to become an even bigger margin for the Pies. They are playing this game on their terms at the moment.
And directly down in front of us here, we see Cahoon with a
big ice pack on the right hamstring.
So
So you'd suggest that's him done for the day and possibly several weeks. As the siren goes for half-time here at Tanunda, the score on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard is Tanunda 10 goal 5 to Gawler Central 4 goal 6.
10-5-65 to 4-6-30. And to think only about 8 minutes ago, that margin was 13 points.
Yes, and Tanunda really grabbing the game by the throat and blowing it open there late in the second quarter. And as we know, when teams do good work late in the second quarter, good things happen.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be interesting. The Gawler Central side's going to have to go back into the rooms and have a good hard look at their structures. We did see Phelps go forward and have an impact at the start of that quarter, and we saw Mercer and Molyneux actually come out running and ready to go, but they just couldn't string it together. There was no clarification of movement, no clear movement, and then Tanunda's poise in that back half actually broke the game open, and they stopped mucking around with the ball, and those goals started rolling off the boot.
Tanunda's defence is the reason they are doing so well in this game. Everything starts there. The Westhoff brothers work well back in that back half. You've got a number of young players who are standing up and playing like 200-game veterans, and the ball use coming out of defence sets everything up for the Magpies.
I'd say the tone being set by the young ruckman against a much bigger opponent has been outstanding.
Yes, he's got to be... His teammates have got to be looking at him with absolute adoration at the moment.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Well, what do you say, Hope?
We'll be back for the third quarter shortly.
We will. Cheers.
Scoreboard, Tanunda 25 to Barossa 0. So, here, Gawler Central.
All right, Mike. We've had our sausage and bread. Might have had a refreshment. Looked after ourselves
And
physically and mentally.
it is a perfect day for footy at Tanunda. If you are in the area, if you're watching this, great that you're watching, but come on down and support local footy.
Absolutely, it's
Get down
absolutely
here.
splendid.
Great atmosphere at the game. Support local sponsors as well. So real chance to come out and enjoy the last minor round game of the season. And Tanunda seem to be enjoying this at the moment.
They were 10-5-65 to
4-6-30
6-30.
on the Grant Burge Wine scoreboard.
Just have a look at the A-grade goal kicking. Josh Trembath with his 6th to half time. That takes him to 38. The current leader is James Bentley at 49, but they're having a fair crack at it. So some would say that Josh would need to have an outstanding second half to have a go at this.
And it is possible he's kicked 5 in the first half.
He's had a neat half dozen, mate. So, and the ball up to start the second half. We've got the protagonist going again. Young Doherty grabs the ball and he gives it a bit of a shove off the ground.
Shank off the knee, but just bounces over Feltus's head. Gawler Central able to rebound. Finds clear mark out there on the wing. He wheels around onto his left going forward. Finds Phelps
There's that young Phelps again.
on the 50-metre line. He's going to be kicking from 55 metres out, directly in front, but it's no real wind to speak of now. The wind has died off
Yeah, it
almost
has.
completely. Maria Street's been closed. Coming in now. This would be a great start for the Tigers. Really gets onto it, gives it a great boost, but just lands in the goal square. And Tanunda looking to clear as
Heyman
they've done
running
for
it out.
most of the day.
Running
Kicks
it out
off the
beautifully
deck.
well.
A 40-metre kick off the ground.
Doherty's moved it and he's got it to Feltus. Feltus out to Westhoff. Westhoff with a little chip kick over the head of Trembath.
But again, we see Isaac Feltus on that outer wing. That's the main highway to goal for the Pies.
Absolutely. And young Mitchell there was excellent for Gawler Centrals, but now it's moved through to the wing. Phelps again. Great attack at the ball. Roadblock there with Douse for Tanunda. Slick handballs. Feltus to Snowden to Biaggi.
Beautiful
Biaggi
hands for
streaming.
Biaggi.
And he's given the ball beautifully through to Josh Trembath there.
Magnificent work from the little man Biaggi. The little man with the Italian name and the big heart.
The big Scottish-Italian ticker. I'd like to say that work on the centre wing where the Tanunda defence just said no.
Yeah,
It stops here.
it
That was
just-
incredible.
No, we just will not entertain that whatsoever.
So Trembath is coming in to have his shot at goal. And it's nice and clear, and he's
Goal
kicked number
umpire,
7.
No urgency about his movements at all. Just, okay, I've got to signal another goal for him. It's almost getting sick of it, the goal umpire, by his body language.
It's again though, we called some names that have just been prevalent today in Feltus, Biaggi, Westhoff, and then to Trembath. There's a common thread there, isn't there?
It is, and Tanunda have now built up a confidence between themselves that they can go to those players with an absolute knowledge that they will deliver.
Gawler Central's centre players are actually now reading not off of their own, but off of the ruck work from the smaller Heinze.
And a big stoppage at centre half forward for the Tigers. So Tigers looking to attack again.
There was definitely a block there. They're actually now playing defensive against the smaller Heinze.
So quick clearance for the Pies. They're running through now. Now on the near wing.
Brooks to Manning.
Manning just drops what he should have taken.
But he's cleaned up.
Good enough to collect.
And it's out of bounds now.
But he did follow up his own mistake very well.
He did. That's young fella. He's he'll continue to grow and develop.
Yes, managed to expose Jake Asher, who's a little older now.
I'd like to say thank you to the the magnificent work of Melissa Rostenberg here of the Tanunda Football Club
She
has
is
provided us.
sensational. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. There's a nice little feed here for us.
No hot dog buns, though.
No hot dog buns. That's a
Gawler Central going for it there.
Gawler Central.
It's waiting. The goal
Waiting for
umpire and the field umpire.
I think it's gone into the
conferring.
post, hasn't it?
It was
There was
Danny
some really
Stanley
crisp
that
work down
cleared it
there.
out to Charlie Molyneux.
Oh, a long kick forward. Searle missed it through the hands. Worst is gone, and it does appear to have.
Yes, on our
hit the post.
replay, it does deflect off the post.
And now
So-
we've got.
If the ARC
Matt
wants some
Westhoff.
reliable people, we are available.
That's it. Matt Westhoff out to Isaac Feltus. He takes a great mark out there. Nice long kick, but it's misdirected. Went a bit shallow there, boundary side.
Gawler Central penetrating again.
Really nice mark there from Smith. Again, that half
Didn't
back
give
line.
Phelps a real chance at that.
Moving it clean. Doherty plays on straight away. Good penetrating left foot out to Snowden. He's tried to keep it in, but alas, it went out of bounds. Got the ball in. Bit of physicality there, and Doherty's again trying to keep it in.
Ball in Tanunda forward line now, just about 15 metres around on the boundary from the Tanunda forward 50-metre arc. Bottom in front position, just brings the ball to ground.
Well, he chucks it out, and then we've got
Taken
Brad
over the
Mitchell
line.
again taking over the line.
Chip ball back in towards Schiller. Quick handball to Lee Westhoff. Flying kick, just drifts off to the left. But
Well,
beautiful
yes,
work there.
That's a bit of a rare occasion for Lee Westhoff to have missed such a simple shot on goal.
It is, but probably that far out. He's probably having to put a bit more onto it these days. His legs aren't what they were 2 or 3 years ago. And he just does such a mountain of work that it's hard to hold it against him, but those legs will get tired. As Gawler Central move the ball back into the middle of the ground, spills to the deck. Now we've got Phelps with a left foot going deep.
One-man football side at the moment.
Finding Willie Searle, who drops the mark under pressure, but the ball's crumbed by his teammate.
And Stanley slotted it beautifully through the points.
That was Willie Searle created that opportunity there. Didn't take the mark, but brought the ball to ground in front of him. Made sure that his teammates were the only ones who could get to it.
I think we've regularly commented on it that he's actually got more size and more bulk against the smaller Fechner, and yet one would say Fechner's taken the points today.
Yes, but mainly because the ball hasn't been given to Searle's advantage.
So the ball in from Dowse to Brooks, but it's been cut off by Pilkington.
Bilking with a chip over to the goal square to Willie Searle on the goal line, who chips it through for a goal for the Tigers.
That's Searle's second for the day.
And Searle, remarkable. He's playing with his son in A-grade football.
Absolutely.
He's been a
been
great
love around.
servant to a lot of
Somebody's
competitions.
run on the field and given a hug.
It could be his last game today, I think, by the look of that.
There
A
we go.
lot of Gawler Central players ran and embraced him. That kind of celebration suggests that maybe he's decided that this could be it. Okay, Tanunda into attack. Well defended by the Tigers. Now rebounding. Chip kick comes out to Danny Stanley. He wheels onto his right. Goes long and high.
Up and under.
Up and under. Searle
That's
was
Mercer.
Mercer was coming at it. Probably outsized by Tanunda defenders, but from behind he's taken a really good grab. Probably 35 metres out he'll be kicking from. Not much of an angle. Brad Mercer definitely has this within his capabilities. The Tigers coming back now. A little bit late, but as we see Kyle Worst running towards the bench now for a quick rest.
Brad Mercer, reliable as ever.
Brad Mercer puts that through. Tigers move forward now.
So 6.844 is playing 11.672 on the Burgewine scoreboard.
And Gawler Central not lying down. They are kicking to the what we would term the scoring end so far today, even though the wind from Maria Street has dropped.
There'll still be a couple of goals in it, I think. But as the ball comes back to the centre, we're seeing Schiller, Westhoff, Heinze and Doherty in the middle against a fairly formidable Stanley. I don't know who number 2 is in the middle there. Botten and Pilkington. Well read by Stanley off the ruck tap. Mitchell long into the forward line there for Gawler Central. So when they've got that fast movement out of the centre tap, it's actually worked really well for them. And unfortunately, like I highlighted before there, Gawler Central have actually started taking the read off of the smaller ruckman's tap, which is it's a bit defeatist, but it also means that our like the Tanunda boys need to be really mindful of that there's going to be run off half-back flank.
And it's very surprising that the senior midfielders for Gawler Central didn't start doing that earlier.
Yeah, they've missed a trick there, I think.
They shouldn't need to be told by a coach or a runner to do that.
Not with that experience. Stalemate in the forward flank area with a rebounding kick out from Tanunda to Biaggi. Biaggi with a great pick-up and handball to Doherty. Doherty quick and sharp to Feltus again. Feltus has not kicked it well enough over and has turned it over, and there's a quick ball in to the forward line of Gawler Central. Darcy Heyman attacked the ball with fervour, and then there's a big physical tackle in there, and the ball's been locked up for a ball up.
Yes, Harmon coming at that ball should have taken the simple chest mark. But
quick shot on goal by Gawler Centrals there, and gone through for another. Oh, and we're talking out of bounds. Hit the post, so it is a throw-in.
Deep in Gawler Central's forward line now. Ball's coming right to a dangerous spot with this throw-in. Heinze with the tap backwards. Actually works in Gawler Central's favour. Players wrapped up, so we'll have a ball up now. Probably 15 to 20 metres out, directly in front of goal.
There's a hand out quickly.
Flying shot on goal.
Harmon just took the forward on immediately. Later, strong tackle at the top of the goal square.
Beautiful defensive work there by the Magpies.
Didn't panic, just stuck to his ground.
Another ball up.
There's a push out.
Botten took the ball out of the ruck, but Tanunda players were able to smother the ball directly off his boot.
Tackle, Willie Searles kicked the ball across. Lee Westhoff has been pushed out over the line for another throw-in.
Not even a minor score for the Tigers from that. Very disappointing. Ball in now. A lot of players around their stoppage. And ball comes right across the face of goal. But through for a minor score for the Tigers. So Tanunda should be able to relieve some pressure here by kicking the ball out of the area.
Seems to be a thing that's crept into modern football. The players that are holding back expecting a handball out. and they play a lot of that outside. And I saw that then there was 3 Gawler Central players who were skirting that pack, while one guy was being accosted by 3 Tanunda defenders. So to have that, surely that should have been a goal. And it's, again, a missed opportunity.
Tanunda taking their time. Short kick finds Feltus. Feltus looking now, looking for a target. Goes long. Unable to be marked.
Griffiths with a handball there. He's found young Hokeless. Hokeless has gone to Feltus. Feltus has stepped twice and got the handball out to Griffiths again. Griffiths a long kick looking for Snowden. Feltus has made his way 50 metres down to apply a tackle on Big Botton. The handball comes out. We've got to the feet of the Gawler Central player. Been picked up again. Snowden trying to kick it. Doherty in there has been locked up in another tackle. Again, the cross line running that we're seeing from Isaac Feltus is really driving that through.
Yes, magnificent work.
Quick handballs through the pack into Ben Schiller. Ben Schiller has
Chips it
found
up,
Josh.
And Josh
Trembath.
Trembath now takes a mark. 25, 30 metres from goal on a minor angle. This should be another goal for the key forward. Just no panic there from Tanunda. Like a training drill, they're just that relaxed.
Well, stop handball, keep the ball moving, make sure it keeps going forward. And the chaps that are prepared to run across the line, you know, the Griffiths, the Feltus, the Dohertys, they're making this happen.
And Trembath makes absolutely no mistake.
So that's a neat 8. So that takes his yearly
And we're
tally
still
now to 40.
We're only 16 minutes into the third quarter.
So it's plenty of time for him to add to that tally, I should imagine.
Tanunda 12-6-78, playing Gawler Central 6 goal 9. 45 on the Grant Burge Wine scoreboard.
Again, just extending our thoughts to those doing it hard in lockdowns and what have you, and those in need. So we hope you're enjoying the coverage today. There's a long kick into the forward line and some bravery by Brooks into there in defence for Tanunda. A missed mark by Harmon, and an amazing attempt at goal by Bradley Mercer has kicked it on his left, backing backwards in the dead pocket. That's vintage Mercer there, kicking that.
And that's the magic we've seen from Brad Mercer for nearly 10 years in the BLG. He's been a wonderful addition to the competition. Gawler Central have done the right thing, kept him here. He's entertained fans from Gawler Central and other clubs alike.
Oh, without a doubt, and would have to be in the 500-600 goals kicked in his period there. Has been a great servant for that club, and you wonder how many more years the old bones can keep going.
I would say that this could nearly be the last dance. His impact this year has been lessened dramatically, and he's playing a role where he's doing a lot more work.
Tanunda's won the tap again, now to young Smart, who hoiks it very deep into the...
And Trembath disposed of his opponent well before the ball got into the area. Then attacks the footy.
Some that aren't particularly happy with it. I'd say that the defence has been very tight on Josh, and they've been told to do a job. And Bluey Smart overruns the ball. The ball's trapped underneath the Gawler Central player, who didn't have much interest in getting it out. As we can see, it's we had a look at it. There was a bit of a holding on, and the stronger Trembath was able to dispose of his opponent before he got to the ball. Bit of a stalemate at the 50 on the clubhouse side. Heinze again, incredibly strong work against a much bigger opponent.
Heinze's been fantastic today. And I would probably say he's been more effective than Falkenberg, who's been Tanunda's main ruckman all year. Trembath just on a strong lead of the pocket. does what the Gawler Central forwards haven't done all day. He's led there and demanded and said, I don't care where you are, this is where you're kicking the footy.
Absolutely, and Lee Westhoff just honoured the lead beautifully. As we see young James Rea coming from the ground. Again, these kids, these really young Tanunda lads that they're blooding up is fantastic to see. There would be 7 players at the moment that are under 19 playing.
And Gawler Central similarly have got a lot of young players in their team. There's a third gamer in Pat Kitschke who's quite impressive, and several first gamers today as Trembath puts through yet another goal.
So we're looking at 9 goals up until the 19th minute of the third quarter, and the Grant Burge-Wine scoreboard reads 13-6-84 to Gawler Central 7-9-51.
And really starting to open up now for the Pies. They're starting to feast out on this game. They're looking to tune up for a first semi-final performance next weekend. At this stage, they're not 100% sure who their rival might be. Looks like it will be Williston.
There's a strong tackle in there by Molyneux. He clears it out of the centre. Going deep, looking for Searle.
And Searle took the mark and was met front on heavily. So he will take that kick. It would have been a mark or a free kick. And he'll be having a shot on goal for his 4th of the day.
Third today.
Third, which will take him to 35 goals for the season if he can put it through. Sorry, 34 for the season.
Again, another long-term servant for their club. Very successful back in the day.
Only came to the club this year.
This year, I thought he was there last year.
But has been a 7 of a number of clubs around the state for a long time. Kicked a lot of goals in his career. And just offline, just touched on the line. So behind for the Tigers, and Tanunda will look to clear.
So we've got Matthew Westhoff running the ball out again with a long penetrating kick out to Trembath, who's made his way right down to the defensive half. Some quick work there on the wing. We've got Feltus, who has run the ball outside of the line, but some really fantastic fast handball work there.
But the willingness of Trembath to work all the way up to the half-back flank just shows, and now he's already back in the forward 50, hunting another goal. But his work rate in a game that looks like it's well on the way to being won, that has no bearing on their season, just shows how unselfish he is.
Absolutely, and it doesn't look like like he's got that much of a tank, but he is running the fullback absolutely ragged.
No, actually, it does look like he's got a pretty fair tank in there. But he's setting a great standard for the younger players in the Tanunda side. The unrewarded running is part of the game.
Absolutely. Worst gets the ball. Unfortunately, he smothered it by his own teammate. Heinz, he picked it up and then gave it back to Worst.
Gets away again, goes long. Looking for Searle, but well defended. The Pies have been on top in that contest most of the day. Isaac Feltus now works across to this wing, takes a mark, goes forward looking for Snowden.
And Schiller off hands.
Schiller, beautiful crumb.
Through to young
Manning.
That's Brock Wilkes. He's the under-17s captain. There's a handball out by Schiller, followed it up. Trembath running into an open goal for number 10.
Unselfish play. Benny Biaggi, the little man with the real big heart, could have kicked that goal himself. That was just beautiful to watch.
We're having a look at the overlap run. Front and centre, Ben Schiller, straight, flat-out attack. Brock Wilkes, 17-year-old lad, missed the kick, but then he goes back and he provides service.
He follows it up.
Tackle. There's a handball out, straight to Biaggi. Biaggi over to Trembath, and Trembath kicks the goal.
And Biaggi just showing the impact he has on this team.
Sam's laughing at us. We're getting all animated here.
Well, if he wasn't in the way, we could probably see even more.
So we've now got Jordan Searle rucking, with Stanley taking the free kick in the centre.
Stanley drives the ball long. Looking for Searle. He pushes his Tanunda defender under the ball and just holds his space. Takes a mark. Bit of power play there by Searle. Just saying, I've had enough of this.
As we said, Searle's size differential to Aaron Fechner is quite significant. And Fechner's been fantastic today, but there's nothing much you can do about that.
And Searle lining up now. As we're watching him come in, 3/4 time score from Newry Oval. Newry currently 8 goal 11 59, leading Kapunda 4 goal 6 30.
Searle's pushed it to the right for a...
And another missed opportunity for the Tigers, who've kicked 7 goal 11. A lot of opportunities gone begging for the visitors.
Dowse is returning it to the field of play with a very long kick. Again, out to a leading Trembath at the half-back flank. It's almost a set play, that, I think.
It is, and you've got to be appreciative of the amount of work he's doing. Because in any moment now, he'll be back inside the forward 50, presenting with another lead.
Pilkington's got the ball going in forward, and Mercer's taken the opportunity to grab the ball 15 metres out, almost directly in front.
Mercer coming in now. Slots it through for the easiest of goals. As Gawler Central now move to 8 goal 11 on the Grant Birchwine scoreboard, trailing Tanunda 14 goal 6.
Gawler Central in this quarter haven't disgraced themselves by any stretch of the imagination. They've held their own. Obviously, it's the Josh Trembath show at the other end of the ground, but for them to have come back and kick 3 or 4 goals this quarter is signs of where they're going, maybe into the next year. I think they miss out on finals this year, but with their kids coming up, there's some good fortune going forward, I think.
There is definitely room for the Tigers to recruit some key players next year and create players to guide the kids through.
Captain Matt Westhoff into the ruck, and Doherty's just got the ball clean.
Doherty is a player that has probably... what a mark from Trembath over the back there. He's dropped after that, so he should be marched to the goal line for that.
I don't believe they're going to do that. I think they're going to call it an even call. Might have taken a step, reacted by the backman. We'll see if he's going to kick number 11.
And it's a magnificent feat. 11 goals is huge in any competition. But with the pressure that's been applied today, to kick 11 is fantastic. Doherty's a player who probably won't get votes, but has been key in Tanunda's game today. He's constantly done the hard work out of the middle.
Absolutely, quite bullish. That's a beautiful slot there again. So number 11 for Trembath. At the 26, nearly 27-minute mark of the third quarter, Tanunda moved to 15-6-96. Gawler Central 8-11-59 on the Birchwine scoreboard.
And coming back now, Gawler Central need another goal just to keep themselves respectable going into the last quarter.
Yeah, there could be danger of this blowing out, but again, when we look around the oval here today, and Tanunda has 3 water boys that are all A-grade footballers, so including a 201-centimetre ruckman. So you can see the talents out there.
Gawler Central,
Pilkington
Pilkington with
gets
a
clean
big clearance over the back of the contest. A strong mark there for Gawler Central.
A bit of kick and catch going on at the moment.
And Molyneux, it was a big mark. Took it like a key forward, but he has the ability to do that. He's going to be kicking from almost 45 to 50 metres out. He's going to take a big kick for the young man. Kicks it right on the 50. Distance isn't a problem. Accuracy is. He's just offline to the right. To the left, sorry.
That was a fair kick from the young fella, so perfect conditions here now for the going into the last quarter of football. in the last minor round clash between these two sides. And just beautiful looking at the green hills of the Barossa Valley over the back of the Tanunda Oval.
Ball spoiled there. Tanunda taking the crumbs, just bounces out of play, almost in front of the Gawler Central box. Boundary throw in now.
Matthew Westhoff is giving young Heinz a bit of a break in the ruck, which is good work. The ball comes out, goal side. Lee Westhoff has got the ball there on a string. Doherty trying to do some heavy work. Snowden with the handball out. Ben Schiller, long handball. Oh, he's
Lee Westhoff met heavily.
An absolute hospital ball.
A little bit of a cheap shot.
It was a very cheap shot. And there's been a free kick given.
Jason Sandercock there, the offender.
There's no place for that. The game is relatively dusted, and for that sort of caper to be in the game, we need
found
that.
A free kick going Gawler Central's way. Jake Asher will take the free kick. Ball bouncing loose now. Gawler Central player takes it. He's taken down.
A magnificent tackle
Griffiths
there.
winning the ball back for the Pies with a great tackle.
So there's some frustrations starting to emanate from Gawler Central.
Griffiths has got a number of options he can go to here. Just trying to work out which one he wants. Goes with the left foot, comes right out to the boundary. Probably picked the worst option. Finds a Gawler Central player on his own.
There's no need for that. Young Pilkington has overstepped the mark there a bit.
Now.
The umpires had better get control of the situation now. There's no need for Pilkington to have done that because there wasn't anything in that previous incident.
There's definitely some guys exchanging greetings. Ball being chipped around inside now. Tanunda clearing through Fechner. Out wide.
So Darcy Hayman's got half a paddock to himself.
But had to chase that ball. It wasn't the best
Blake Marsden's
finds Isaac Feltus once again.
That's a poor disposal, actually. That might be tired legs, I think. Might be looking forward to the three-quarter time break.
Yes, he's probably not the only one, as we've played 31 and a half minutes in the third quarter. Probably almost siren time.
There's been some goals kicked and a bit of that sort of other activity that we don't need to see.
Gawler Central pushing deep now. Big fly. Ball comes to ground.
Young Manning there took the big hit there and rolled out. Gave a great handball out. Lee Westhoff again. That's a high ball to grass, basically.
Gawler Central.
Alex Robertson just picks up that ball quite comfortably.
This is where Gawler Central are breaking down, though. Going forward to the half-forward line, just high up and under ball. Tanunda are able to crumb it, but the siren sounds, finishing the third quarter of play here at Tanunda Oval.
Yeah, we've got the three-quarter time score here. Shows Tanunda 15-6-96 to Gawler Central 8-12-60 on the
Grant
Birds
Birdswine scoreboard. And we'll take a break for three-quarter time and pick you up for the last quarter.
Barossa Auto Group scored. Tanunda 6 to Gawler Central 8.
All right, as we get ready for the last quarter at Tanunda Oval, which has been magnificent. There's a great crowd here, and to all the people at the Tanunda Footy Club who have managed to again work through another COVID season. Congratulations, well done to all the sponsors. It's been fantastic, and to everybody involved in footy in the Barossa Light and Gawler. Well done to get this season out and happening, even with a delay. So the ball is about to go up. Well read by Stanley, straight off the pack, down to Molyneux to Worst. This is how they've started every quarter.
And Worst going deep into the forward line, up and under.
Searle with a one hand.
Who pushes Fechner under the ball. Something.
And Matthew Westhoff has touched it through. All the right intentions there by
Big Willie
Searle. The young fellow wasn't able to deliver. So I hope that wasn't the last shot out the gun for Gawler Central.
And that was actually handing the ball off to his son, Jordan Searle.
Oh, there you go. Matthew Westhoff with a 70-metre screw punt has allowed Isaac Feltus to run off, kick the ball down inside the 50 metres, and again, there's another push to a player going over the line. This seems to be a habitual thing, and it's really disappointing to see what's going on here with this.
Yes. But it's physical. It's going to prepare Tanunda for the first final next week. Looks like it'll be Williston they're playing.
And again, a long history between Tanunda and Williston in the seniors.
Gawler Central with the ball coming back now. No one able to mark.
Clean pick up by Dowse, out to Westhoff. Westhoff to Griffiths with a leg thrown out. Schiller wasn't able to take it. Manning has a shot on goal. Unfortunately, it's been knocked over the boundary line by the fullback down there.
And three-quarter time score from Williston. Williston currently 142, leading Freeling 39.
We hope that Freeling are looking at a rebuild opportunity, that they can take the good results from their under-17s and bring it up into senior footy and start really attracting some people to participate out there in the senior level.
The competition needs Freeling to be competitive.
It's a foundation club, so got Tanunda here pushing to score again. Gawler Central defenders doing their best to stave off this, and another ball in.
Too often Gawler Central trying to kick out of a congested pack, just into a smother, kicking into a player's legs, whereas Tanunda are calm, they're able to use the handball chain to work it out of a stoppage.
I think we've used the term hack kicks a lot today for Gawler Central, unfortunately.
Yes.
Bouncing around, Howard with a long, direct ball into the goal.
Over players' heads, and that's a goal.
Absolutely.
Out of congestion, Christian Howard for another classy goal. 2 goals today, both have been absolute magic.
He's kicked that from in amongst traffic.
Off one step.
Some bullocky work there, intercepted a handball.
Had nowhere to kick through. I think he kicked towards a player who was moving out of the way. Just great anticipation from the key defender.
He's rolling through the middle, given the short-staffed nature of the Tanunda centres. So he's back in there today.
Ball up again, Botten versus Heinze. And Tanunda are able to get the ball out through Lee Westhoff. And collected off half back there by Robertson.
BLG caught flat-footed there for a fleet-footed person. That was very, very odd. Schiller, beautiful work. Manning has put it out towards the line, but has cleared the ball away from the congestion.
Manning's grown into the game as it's progressed. For a guy who debuted earlier this season, he's definitely come on very well.
Indeed, he's only a young bloke, and he's got plenty to offer.
I believe we called his debut game earlier in the season.
I believe he did. Bit of unclean footy here by Gawler Central, can't get hold of it. There's some ferocious tackling in there. Young Heinze's not only doing the ruck work, but he's actually following up.
Ball comes out now.
Great tackle by
Player
Pilkington on
dumped
Dowse.
and rewarded with a holding the ball call. That's better from Pilkington. Drives the ball deep now.
Matt Westhoff being
Not
clearly
really
held
to
there by the
advantage
jumper.
of his team.
Smith holds up the
Gawler Central once again not kicking to their best advantage.
No, it means their forwards are having to do a lot of scragging that is not good for their ability to move the ball forward.
Tanunda's confidence in their ability to defend one-on-one has been probably the difference in the game, whereas Gawler Central have to put 2 or 3 players back to each contest. Tanunda are willing to back their guys in one-on-one. As the ball comes in now, just bounces in front of Searle. He taps the ball
to older Searle, and now there is a sling tackle
and Manning
paid.
gets Tom Phelps in the tackle, but is paid for a sling tackle, so
Advantage was paid there, and
I'm not sure there really was any advantage.
it's now been turned over again. So a double turnover.
And Gawler Central able to find a clear target with Danny Stanley, probably 35 metres from goal.
Called that a few times, haven't we? Molyneux to Stanley or Stanley to Molyneux, and that's it again.
There's been years of that going on. 2 absolute Rolls Royces of the competition. Stanley with the little ponytail. Kicks nicely straight through to the crowd behind the goal. Tanunda reserves back there, I think.
And I believe that's the Gawler Central's reserves. They're in yellow and black.
And so Gawler Central, another goal, moves them to 9-goal, 13-67, trailing Tanunda 16-goal, 6-102 on the Grant Birchwine scoreboard. As we are nearly 7 minutes into the final quarter of the final match of the minor round season. Ball up. Tanunda
Boy,
trying to
Smart,
get their
nice
hands
and
on the
hard.
footy. Smart goes again. Multiple
With after
efforts.
the ball.
Gawler Central clearing now. Stanley gets a chip forward, but not really to anyone. Bounces to a teammate. His chip kick goes towards Phelps, who almost collided with Searle. There was no real communication there. Searle pulled out just at the last minute. Phelps has got this distance. We saw that last quarter.
Yeah, he's a special young footballer. This lad has, in the second quarter, was dynamic in keeping them in the game.
Comes in now. Gets a beautiful contact on the footy. Drifts off to the left, though. That little bit of wind out of Maria Street just having an impact. The afternoon Maria Zephyr.
The Zephyr from Maria, that's it. A long kick expected there from Matthew Westhoff. He's put it almost to the centre of the ground, and a great mark taken there by the Gawler Central player, and it's been rebounded immediately, and Benson Heinze,
An absolute waste.
yeah, and Heinze's turned around and locked it up.
Turned around purely for self-preservation.
Fechner's bombed it out into the flank, and Harmon has made the contest. Doherty could have been said taken high there, but it was great attack on the ball, and Phelps and he met it at flat out.
Heinze and Botten go at it again.
Heinze with the second tap and the follow-up tackle, which has led to a lot of pressure coming on. Mitchell running out of the zone. There's a throw out there. It's an
May have
unfortunate
paid it
decision.
for high. A lot of pressure being applied, but a little bit illegal. Molyneux will be kicking from probably 45, nearly 50 metres out, but does have this in his kit bag.
He had a long shot in the third quarter and couldn't get it home, could he? So we'll see how this goes into the breeze. He's jammed that nice and hard, and that is a very,
That is
very
a
powerful
beautiful
kick.
goal from the premier midfielder of the competition. Another goal for Gawler Central as they move their score along to 10-goal, 14-71,
Four.
trailing Tanunda 16 goals, 6-102 on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard. So the score really has tightened up a little bit, but not indicative of the way the game's been played.
Tanunda, again, I think we talked about it a quarter and a half ago. Just it's about to break open. There's something. Is this where Gawler Central have run their race for this quarter? Does it run out, or do Gawler Central actually, really stick at it and bring this in nice and tight? Obviously, there's a bit of meaning in this. If this is Searle and Mercer's swan song.
Yes, Gawler Central will want to show a lot of pride for that. As the players overrun the ball now, quick kick forward for the Tigers. As we see Phelps chasing the bouncing ball on his right foot, hacks it back forward. Searle got two hands to it, lands back in his teammate's arms.
Mercer has turned around and slotted that, and this starts bringing into question where Tanunda's desire to knock this game out has come from. So there might be some questions being asked.
And really getting to an interesting stage of the game now. There's nothing left in it for either team. No team needs to prove anything.
It's 22 points.
Which player is going to probably stamp their mark on the game?
So Lee Westhoff gets a free kick in the middle of the oval. That's a bit of a hack-old kick too, that one.
Just really not too winning. Puts it out to space. BLG ducked into that, but was met heavily. And will be a boundary throw-in. Gawler Central, good bullocking work there, trying to get it out, but ball spills free to Tanunda.
Griffiths kicked it into the man on the mark. Some slick handball work, and Biaggi has finished off with some fantastic work with a wonderful running goal.
The Italian pony.
The Scottish Italian stallion.
It's just beautiful little crumbing goal. That's a true small forwards goal. Was involved in that forward entry on multiple occasions, just kept going and going.
So does that signal a bit of a opening at the floodgates? Can we see Trembath get another couple to finish the day off? Where are we at with this, Teeks?
Gawler Central are not willing to lie down. They're throwing everything into this, and that should be a free kick going Gawler Central's way.
And the Central's player acknowledged that too. It was that was a kicking in danger. That was clearly.
As probably not a real Tanunda really not moving the ball well now. A lot of sloppy play. Their kicks are just lazy. I think Sam Colquhoun would be very disappointed with them this quarter.
It's well trapped by Fechner. There was not much hope there for that. There was a high contact there by Mercer, and he acknowledged that.
But Tanunda, if they want to put some goals on here in the last quarter, they've got to start hitting targets, which is what Fechner just went for, but unfortunately unable to be marked.
Christian Howard using some strength in close there. Got the ball out, and here goes Isaac Feltus streaming through. And he's missed.
Muffs the bounce. Gawler Central able to run the ball back now. Looking for Botten, sorry.
Harmon punched the ball straight down to Smith, and Smith was tackled, and there's going to be a ball up.
Inside Gawler Central's forward 50. Tanunda's ball use has become a concern this quarter. They've lost their poise and their class.
Molyneux with a quick shot on goal, and it's
a minor score.
I would suggest that they've lost two rotations out of the field today, and that in itself's had its own effect. We've got some blokes that are probably a little bit underdone, I think, in this last game.
With Colquhoun leaving the game with that hamstring injury in the first half, that's definitely hurt, but skills are still skills, and you need to hit targets.
Absolutely. And
they're playing finals footy next week, and not hitting targets just won't cut it.
You won't get any respite from a very desperate Williston team next week.
No, Williston will make you pay if you make a mistake next week. As Tanunda just happy to see the ball go out of bounds on that outer side.
I think if we look forward, Tanunda played Williston last week, a fortnight ago here at Tanunda, and it was a very convincing win. But very different sides to what we're seeing today.
Yes, and we've got a final score from Newry Oval. Newry 10 goal 13 73, defeating Kapunda 4 goal 7 31 on the Grant Burgewine scoreboards.
Some could say a little bit tighter than expected.
Yes, but always a tough fight between those two foundation clubs of the Barossa and Light.
Indeed. So we've got a 25-metre penalty being given here. Not really sure, but what for?
Searle just nudges his opponent under the bowl. Beautifully done. Didn't use his hands, just used that big, strong barrel chest. And Searle will be lining up for yet another goal.
Be lining up for his third, and he's given off a kick to Stanley. Still playing the team game, so.
He's shown he's happy to share the ball. It's not all about him. And Daniel Stanley will be lining up for another goal for him. He's got several already.
And it's been called hitting the post.
Oh, he'd be disappointed with that. Normally a dead shot on goal. Tanunda will look to clear. Waiting for a target to present itself. Comes long to this near wing.
Lee Westhoff makes a contest. Young Manning's bullocked the ball through, but Molyneux gives a quick handball out to nobody as it turns.
And running through now. Flying shot on goal. Goes over the players deep. Registers a minor score for the Tigers yet again. They're not going away, but they're not having an impact.
Some would say that's a marginal kick out to a smaller player. Smith here to clear the ball. Long kick down to the wing. It's a heavy contest here. Pilkington's tackled with the ball. The young blokes are coming up. That's young Hokeless there.
Now Feltus.
Feltus has tried very
disappointing
hard to
kick.
look after.
Handball off to young Smart.
No, it's young Josh Hokeless, I believe. Might even be in his first game.
Too many redheads.
Too many redheads. But he's missed a dead-on set shot for goal right in front. For Gawler Central, Cam Reynolds has been really good, number 2 there, running through the middle, but just not finishing off the work.
No. Stanley's been good. Molyneux's been prolific as always. Searle's probably been good at this second half, but too many players not having a true impact on the game.
Exactly. Doherty takes the defensive mark on the centre wing.
Yes, the Tigers
We'll be
have done
looking
a
to-
lot of hard work, a lot of physical work, but just to keep themselves in the contest, not really contest it. Doherty drives
pumps
it
it
long. Well defended there by the Tigers. Bottom it was. Ball comes down to BRG.
BRG
who kicks
slots in a second goal.
another great small forwards goal.
And I think he's got 78 family members up here that are his primary cheer squad.
Yes, and an Italian thing, big families, and Scottish as well. So
Cold nights.
there's no cliche about that whatsoever. But he always has a lot of support at the home games. It's great to see. That's what country footy's all about.
It's like Molyneux's checked out for the game, I would say, at the 18.5-minute mark.
And scores currently Tanunda 18 goals 7 to Gawler Central 11 goals 17 on the Grant Burgewine scoreboard.
Big
Gawler
run through
Central,
the middle.
a lot of scrub kicks on goal. Probably one of the big differences. Beautiful spin out of trouble there from Vecna.
That is, I would say that's a very harsh call. It's being done for
Holding the ball.
holding the ball. And it, Worst kicking it in.
Going to the pocket, but once again, it's a hit and hope for the Tigers.
There's a push-outs, and Matthew Westhoff will take the free kick on the last line of defence.
That's symptomatic of Gawler Central's entire day.
Douse to push it out to young Brock Wilkes.
Young man's been impressive today.
He's come on and done a job.
Showing
Absolutely.
some good signs. Has always gone when it's his turn.
High up and under sort of a kick. Snowden didn't get the best crack at it. And can't quite see who's been wrapped up. It looks like Biaggi's been wrapped up as soon as he got hold of the ball. Heinze takes the ruck. Westhoff pumps it in long. Trembath is wrestling
Got one
with the
hand to the
fullback.
ball.
Biaggi lays a fantastic tackle, and Trembath has kicked the goal through. That was fantastic teamwork there.
Yes.
Very quick.
Big and small working together.
That's a dozen.
He's been prolific. Hasn't been his greatest year because of that big injury layoff. And even when he came back, it took him a while to get back to his best. But this is what Josh Trembath does and does very well.
That's correct. That's why he was brought up here. And I think the familial connections are going to ensure that they will hang around a fair bit, so which is good.
It's good to see a recruited player coming to a club, not just playing for a year or so and taking off somewhere else, but putting down roots.
Absolutely. And roots he has put down. Young Manning there was outstanding through the middle, and he's been accosted by three of them, and he's stood up, and they've held the ball. Heinze wins the ruck again.
Stanley with a handball.
Pilkington over the head to no one.
Looking for worst, but chopped off. Hopeless doing some hard work again for a young man.
Grandpa Westhoff off the side of the boot there. Those legs at 36 years old still keep moving.
He's young.
See the Westhoff engineering boys, father and son, working over the back of where my little winery is, and
Which little winery is that?
a little Ben Murray Wines, just in here in Tanunda. But yeah, they work very closely together, father and son, and it's great to see. But I can tell you, Mondays they work a little bit slower than they do on
Big,
Fridays.
Strong work there from Gawler Central. Searle now trying to pick the ball up off the deck, taps it to a teammate's advantage. Another handball there. Worst on the receiving end. Little chip kick, travels about 5 metres to a teammate who has a running shot on goal. We see a mark taken
Bradley
deep in the
Mercer.
forward pocket by Brad Mercer, who will finish this off with a goal for sure.
I have already marked it down.
Well, that's a smart move. And for Tanunda, best players in your opinion?
That took a long time for the goal umpire to signal all clear on that, but it is a goal for Mercer. For Tanunda, I think we've got to be looking at, well, it's a brigade of young fellas, I think, that have really stood up. We've got Heinze in the ruck. I think Feltus really set up the game, and that work on the wing was outstanding. And then the skill and competitiveness and experience of Christian Howard, and obviously a full forward that kicks a dozen is going to get some notice. So Josh Trembath will be right up there.
Yes, I think you've probably missed a couple out there. Guys like Doherty has been good. Douse down back. BLG, I think, has played a very good role when the ball's been in his area.
Absolutely. No, I think picking best players is always tough, isn't it? Especially in a game like this. But defensively too, they've been strong. There's been some really good work by the likes of Darcy Heyman and Matthew Westhoff, and Brett Dowse. So we've called a lot of them. Aaron Fechner probably unheralded and won't get the chocolates because of Searle kicking a couple, but I think it's been a really even contest.
Long kick out now. Central fighting hard, trying to keep the ball in their area. But the ball just trickles over the boundary line.
So 24 and a half minutes gone in the final quarter. It is Tanunda 19-7, 121 to Gawler Central 12-17-89.
Beautiful
Manning
pick up off
through
the contest from Manning.
And he's been dumped afterwards. And nothing downfield, I believe. That's really unfortunate for the young bloke, and it's not needed again.
Ball comes out now. Gawler Central driving the ball forward, looking for worst. Only player
kick.
under the fall of the ball. He takes it, but plays
Well
on.
done. Benson Heinze was absolutely outstanding then, but it
Daniel
goes
Stanley
unrewarded.
gets the ball, has a flying
And-
shot on goal, but misses.
No, I believe he's kicked that goal. Teeks.
He has kicked the
indeed.
goal. Beautiful poise under pressure from Stanley. Yes, this game's starting to peter out now, and Gawler Central taking advantage, get some junk time goals.
No, indeed. I think everybody realises what the result's going to be, so probably ready for the siren at any stage now. They're running young Manning in the middle, and he's I think he's thriving in this last quarter. He does physicality.
He has. He's been very good. Laying another tackle there. Westhoff with a little kick out. Ball coming deep forward for the Tigers now. Searle under it, gets one hand to it. Under defence, able to clear.
That's a really sharp kick there by Smith, running off
By
half back.
Brooks.
Brooks
Kick
to
inboards,
Wilkes.
really clean.
Once these young blokes are starting to find their feet,
Really presenting hard. Not playing like young players. They're really demanding the footy.
it's a good mark over the top of Snowden. It's probably left a little bit to his side, that kick.
Tigers working the ball sideways now. Now drives it forward. Sandercock going long. Good pickup out there.
Young Whelan out there, got the ball.
Heading for Stanley, but chopped off beautifully.
Darcy Heyman,
Heyman's been good all day.
ever reliable. That's a huge clearing kick down to the flank.
Didn't find a
Honest
teammate.
contest
But
over
that's
there.
a big win for the Pies. Gets it out there, gives them a chance to have a breath, reset.
Reset. You're a kick there from goal, so could be a great way to finish the game.
As we're well into the 29th minute of the game.
There's a free kick given.
Gives Gawler Central a chance to clear. Quick handball. Puts his teammate under a bit of pressure there, but he's able to take advantage and clears it.
Young Whelan.
Wheeling and turning now. Almost finds a player who drops the simplest of marks. Coming through the middle of the ground now. A good strong mark taken there.
Botton, isn't it?
Botton, I believe, and ball knocked out of his hands. Some umpires would have pulled the trigger on a 25 there.
Looks like the pace has gone out of some of the legs. Young Feltus there with the hand on his knees.
Chip over the top there. Finding a player closer to goal and a non-ruckman to take the shot, which is always a good idea.
Absolutely, and the young fella on his debut, young Hudson Vivian, will have a shot on goal.
And I think we all want to see this go through for the young fella. Really great football family, genuine people, and this young man, I've met him a few times, already a really strong character. He's going to be a good long-term prospect for the Tigers.
He's taking an immensely long run up.
Calm, collected, coming in. Gets onto it quite nicely. He's just missed it.
Just missed it.
Goal umpire has broken everyone's hearts there.
That's it.
But it was a great effort from the young man.
There was hooting and hollering all around.
A lot of us thought it was through.
Now, the next best thing would be to see a Matthew Westhoff barrel, wouldn't it?
Well, I think we're due.
I believe we're due.
Right down the middle. But no, he's going to be
No.
disciplined. He's going to the outer side, the defensive side. Goes along. Gets it at least 70 metres from goal.
Snowden picked up the ball, got it knocked out. Some in-close work there. There's a quick kick out by a Gawler Central player and an overrun by a Tanunda player, young Douse. There's some very tired legs out there.
And young Vivian laying a tackle there. Really starting to get the feel for the speed of this game. He's played a bit of footy down at Central Districts this year.
Molyneux
Gawler Central breaking clear. Botton unable to mark it in the goal square.
and Darcy Heyman. Again, outstanding work. Probably didn't need to give that
Gamble to a
handball.
teammate under pressure. Tackle laid there.
And that'll be it
That's
today.
the final siren. Final scores here at Tanunda Oval. Tanunda running out convincing winners, 19 goals, 7, 121 to Gawler Central, 13 goal, 18, 96. Thank you very much for tuning in on the live stream. That's the last minor round of the Barossa Light and Gawler 2021 season. We'll join you at some point during the finals series.
One would hope so. So, all the best to everybody, and thanks Teeks, thanks Sam. Great work, and good work for everybody involved in these broadcasts.
Thank you.
They're a game changer.
He's gone, isn't he?
For the game.